Recording is now in progress.
Thank God you
Welcome.
said that. I didn't know.
No, you have to be in your best behavior now, Brian. We're recording this. Welcome, everybody. We have kind of an intimate group tonight. Oh, Gray just joined. Welcome, Gray. Thought we'd start by just doing introductions. Um, Maybe start with the staff that are on the call. I think I know all of you. I'm Kevin Smith. I'm the events manager here at Movable Feast. This is my second Dining Out for Life event. I do think we're doing better this year, so I'm excited. And I'm going to turn it over to Gray.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Gray. I'm the new volunteer coordinator here at Movable Feast. Um, Started in July and have just been really excited about the mission as well as the folks that I have been meeting. Had the opportunity to meet a few of you both during our previous DAFO committee meeting, as well as in the space. So wonderful to be here again.
Hello again, Gray.
Keisha, why don't you
Sure, I'm
join
Keisha
us?
Byam. I'm one of the board members of Movable Feast. I'm also co-leading this training, ambassador training with Kevin. So hope the information that we provide will be helpful to anyone stepping in the ambassador role.
Brian?
Brian DiNardo, one of the co-chairs of DAWFL and board member, and I am here to observe and comment if necessary, and that's about it.
Stephanie.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Panko. I am also a board member at Movable Feast. This will be the second time I've been an ambassador for DAWFL. However, DAWFL is the way that I was introduced to Movable Feast. I just was dining out somewhere and it happened to be DAWFL night, and then I got involved and have been a volunteer for a number of years now and now on the board. So this event is very cool. I enjoy it and I think it's great. So glad to be part of it again.
Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Boston. This will be my second time being an ambassador. Wasn't last year, but maybe the year before when I did it. I am also a volunteer for um, the ride. I do SAG driving for that for 5 years now. So.
Cool.
Manny. See you're there.
Hi, I'm Manny Millar. I'm also a board member. Been 4 years now. I like Stephanie. I was actually introduced to Movable Feast through Lawful, where James, our chair, invited me to have dinner at Gertrude's, and that's where I learned about this organization, and later decided to join the board. So excited to be an ambassador. This will be my first year because I volunteered last year, but then Clavel said they didn't want ambassadors. I just went around saying how good margaritas were since we were getting 50% of the margaritas.
Trisha.
Hi, good evening, all. My name is Trisha Murphy. I volunteer and also do driving when I'm available. I came into contact with Movable Feast many years ago when I was a bartender, and the bike messengers used to do your rides, and I would sponsor them, and that was my first contact. Now I've had the honor of helping support from working with Cisco and supporting from that side, and I'm just looking for every way I can help. So happy to be an ambassador. Learn and grow. I've never done it before, so this will be fun.
Thank you.
And last but not least, and forgive me if I mispronounced your name, Rui?
Hi, I'm Rai. I'm one of
Rai.
the volunteers. It's my first year being an ambassador. I learned about Movable Feast through my medical school and volunteer opportunities with them. So I'm excited to be here.
Great
Awesome.
to have you.
Yeah, thanks again, everyone. We're kind of heavy on folks that have done this before or are very familiar with it. We have two newcomers, so that's going to kind of maybe change the tone of the call. This is going to be kind of conversational. I invite anyone who has a comment from their experience to chime in at any time. but we're going to kind of run through the little slideshow I have and talk a lot about the ambassador manual that I emailed out that you all should have. A printed copy of that will be included with the Doffel supplies, as well as that movable feast information sheet. We'll talk a little bit about that later. So I'm going to kind of start getting through this. Whoops. And again, please, anyone jump in at any time. New folks, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to interrupt and ask questions. But well, see, we've already done this. All kinds of progress. So what is Dining Out for Life? Dining Out for Life, which we often call DAWFL for short, if you see that and wonder what it is. DAWFL is actually a national event that a lot of different organizations put on. Movable Feast is the Baltimore Dining Out for Life organization. Dining Out for Life organizations generally are HIV/AIDS focused. Of course, that's how Movable Feast began. We've kind of evolved to serve a lot of other folks with different illnesses. So that, if that is a question that could come up. If you look at the information sheet I sent out, it does kind of break down what illnesses we serve by percentage of clients. It's not necessarily something you have to get into in a casual conversation with a diner, but if they ask, that information is there. This is Movable Feast's 32nd year. I think Dining Out for Life itself has only been going for 33 or 34 years. So we've been doing it almost as long as the event has existed. And again, for those who don't know, on this one day, we recruit restaurants to donate a percentage of their sales back to Movable Feast. The percentage they give kind of varies restaurant to restaurant. So any long timers have any comments about what is Dining Out for Life?
I will just add in regards to what it is, just what Kevin was saying in regards to just knowing we support the different, looking at that list and we see the people with different conditions. So it's not just, people won't think it's just HIV and AIDS, because people might have questions about any others, and just knowing a couple off your head would just be good. And that's what the tools that we have. It's just little resources in your back pocket, just in case someone feels, oh, that's the only thing that you do. You could provide additional information.
Something I would add too is, as much as this event is a fundraiser for us, we also think of it as a friend raiser. Movable Feast grows its mailing list. Every year we do the event, and it's just a good way to get the work that we do known in the community better. What is an ambassador? I'm going to let the people that have actually been an ambassador, because I've never done it. I'm going to let you tell us what an ambassador is. I'm going to pick on someone.
Pick on Brian.
Brian, what is an ambassador?
So we obviously, an ambassador represents something. We represent Movable Feast and Dining Out for Life in particular. What our basic function is to talk to people who come into the restaurants for Dining Out for Life and explain what Movable Feast is, especially since people sometimes not only don't know what Movable Feast is, they don't know that they're there for Dining Out for Life. Excuse me, I'm having some allergy issues. So that's what we do. We tell them or explain to them what our purpose is and who we are, and we thank them profusely for being there and make them aware that even though they didn't plan on it, they're making a contribution to the charity, and give them a quick overview of how we serve and who we serve.
Yeah, that's the hour, Brian. So you're the ambassador is you're a liaison, you're that connection for Movable Feast and the mission on that evening with the diners. And I love what Kevin said is also a friend raiser. As you've heard from different people, that they met and learned about movable feast from DAFL. That's how it started, and it branched into doing more within the organization. So you're just beginning that, just like a starting that relationship financially and in a friendly manner, as beginning that friendship. So that's what the ambassadors do. Um, and we give you tips in how you can do that. But that's what you were there for, just to help bridge that connection. Because as Kevin said, there are people who might just be there eating that night, not knowing what's going on. I see people walking around and what's all of this about? And you're able to give them a little bit of information, encourage them to donate, um, encourage them to learn more. And, some people might pull up the website to get more about Movable Feast, and you're that connection for the organization, that friendly arm.
I noticed that Amanda has joined us. Amanda, you missed the little intro section, so if you don't mind, maybe say hey to everyone and tell us what draws you to Dining Out for Life.
Yeah, of course. And I'm so sorry for joining late.
Huh?
But my name is Amanda Stellman. I live in Baltimore, in the city, and I've volunteered with your organization a couple of times, joined some shifts, and have really enjoyed it. So I saw the email come through and just wanted to get more involved. And I'm glad to be here, glad to be doing it this year.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
In kind of continuing with the ambassadors, I noticed this picture. This is John Falk. Pictured here with his Movable Feast t-shirt. He's at Silver Queen there. He'll be at Silver Queen again this year. Notice that he's wearing a little black apron. All your ambassador boxes will have a similar apron. It has a McCormick logo on it because they're our biggest sponsor. And you also see the old Movable Feast logo, which we now cover up with a button with the new Movable Feast logo.
Yeah.
Again, that'll be in the box for your restaurant. Other items that will be in the box are postcards and envelopes. I'm going to kind of show you these. See if I can see myself so I know what you guys see here. These are collection envelopes. And we actually do still get some cash and check donations on the night of the event. They'll have these to mail those in. We also have a postcard that'll be on all the tables. It'll be kind of one of your jobs to make sure the tables kind of stay replenished with postcards. They can donate online as well by going to this QR code. So the diners kind of donate in two ways. They eat, and the percentage of that goes to Movable Feast. But we ask also that they donate on top of that, and that is a part of the ambassador job. You don't have to beg them to donate, but just make sure they're aware they have that opportunity, and make sure the envelopes are on the tables with the postcards as well. We have a raffle for the donors. I'm going to kind of refer to the manual I sent out. It's a 5-page document that pretty much covers everything. The first page, the ambassador box contents, what to do when you arrive at the restaurant. On the second page, it really kind of goes into those donor raffle prize information. So the 3 donors will each get $200 worth of gift cards that have been donated from our participating restaurants. If the diners ask how that all happens, we pull the 3 winners, and then I send all 3 winners the list of all the restaurants that are available, and they get kind of first come, first serve choice as to what they get. Also doing a ambassador raffle. So 2 ambassadors will similarly be chosen to get a gift card pack. And we also have this year some Movable Feast pendants. That'll be kind of the second place prizes. Those are donated by Iggy North, a jeweler in Fells Point. Dun, dun, dun. I will coordinate with each of you kind of individually about either picking up your ambassador box, or I will deliver it to the restaurant. We'll kind of straighten that out directly via email. Next slide here.
I have a quick question,
Yeah.
Kevin. if people ask like, oh, because we said like a percentage of sales would be donated, if they ask what percentage is this restaurant donating, are we allowed to share that?
It's on the website, so it's not secret knowledge.
Okay.
Um, what do you I could put a list in the box that has all the restaurants and the percentages, if that would be helpful, if you think folks will ask. But that information is available on the website on the restaurant list page. In fact, you can search restaurants by how much they give if you want to pick ones that donate the most. That's one of the searchable features on there.
I just didn't know if like the restaurants were keen on us sharing that information
Yeah,
on the spot.
I can't imagine they would mind.
I think with us, any ambassador, especially if you're a new ambassador, like what Manny said, if someone asks and let's say that restaurant is donating 10%, like, and if they have like, that was it, that's it, then so, and you could provide an additional donation, you
Yes.
just follow up with, like don't get stuck in what that restaurant is doing. That's what they're able to do, and we're appreciative of that. And you can provide an additional donation, the card, use the QR code. It just maneuver it then to a positive thought process of, and you can do more by do that. In case they don't like the percentage, if you remember, just move forward with, you could donate an additional on these directions.
So table engagement scripts, again, in the manual, we have a script example of kind of introductory talk, and then there's also, tips and tricks from longtime ambassadors, and then like handling patron interactions. What do we have here? 18 examples of FAQs you're going to get from diners. For the folks that have done this more, a couple times or more, what would you say is the most common questions you get from diners? How do you introduce yourself to the diners?
Well, for me, when they're asking questions, when they ask a question like, I don't know, what kind of meals or something like that, in a way, it kind of informs me that I'm not quite explaining it right. Does that make sense? Like those are questions that they should know the answer to because I told them. And so I keep that in mind because the frequently asked questions, are going to be things that you kind of should cover, but nobody's perfect. How many meals, who gets the meals, different things like that. The kind of questions you would want to ask if you were dining out and found out you were giving to a charity. Yes?
Yeah. And that information sheet that I emailed out, that, there'll be a copy. I feel like the information on that sheet should help you answer any kind of questions about movable feast. Certainly, if you get a question you don't know the answer to, feel free to, I'll put some of my business cards in the ambassador boxes too. You can feel free to give those out to folks if they have any questions about movable feast. Yeah. I was gonna,
and I was gonna jump in, Kevin, just to say, if someone asks, I know some of the common things we've heard is in people confusing movable feasts and thinking about like meals on wheels. And so that might be something when it comes to the meals, when you talk, you might talk about, yes, we have medically tailored meals, and they go, oh, like Meals on Wheels? No. And you explain the difference, and that, we have our nutritionists. And so that's looking over that documentation is real helpful for some of those things. But and if you ever, like what Kevin is saying, if you feel like there's a question and you're like, I don't even know really how to say this, you could take down, I said we could have someone look at that for you, or guide them to our website for movable feasts so that they could look up on the website and read some information and for themselves, look at the cards that we have. A lot of people are just very friendly. I wanted to know a little bit more. But that's one of the things also, just trying to maybe compare it to something, another organization that they might know, but realizing what makes Movable Feast shine and so different and wonderful, and being able to point that out to them. Kevin?
Yeah, anybody else have any wisdom to share from your ambassador experiences?
I would just say, I mean, we were sitting outside the year that I did it. It was at Silver Queen, which was, I mean, it's very small. And it was before they had rearranged things inside. So we were sitting outside and greeting people as they came in, and most people were just very positive. And we were keeping in mind that they were on their way to have a meal and that they, you know, people who didn't know it was Dining Out for Life were happy to take, you know, a postcard and say that I think some of them then gave additional donations when they came out. But I would say, I think actually the majority of people knew it was and were coming possibly because of that. So we really just tried to give people the space, thank everyone for, you know, several people did come back out and hand us envelopes. Some people said, no, we don't know what that is, but they weren't like rushing by. I mean, it's always a thing, right? You have to keep that in mind that if people who don't know the Movable Feast name or logo or familiar with it in Baltimore, and you see someone sitting outside, tabling outside of where you've got reservations to go in for a meal, they're like, oh my God, what are they gonna, you know, but we didn't really get that from anyone. You kind of saw like wariness in a few people's eyes, but every single person took a piece of information to read about it. So
Yeah. And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to share, because I was at a restaurant last year. I was inside most of the time. And so I was trying to figure out like where to set up. And I had like a little welcome table at the entrance and people kind of see me. But what ended up being kind of effective for me was once I saw that they had put their order in with the server and handed off their menus, it was like, okay, you have a minute to listen to me give my spiel now. And so I would just try to approach them for 1 minute and everyone took a postcard. Everyone was good about that. Some of them had questions about, oh, can we volunteer here and that kind of thing. So I think, like you said, Kevin, like this is also a friend-raising event. So I would always talk about that too. And I think people really like to hear about hands-on volunteering things like kitchen work. Like that's really cool for people. So I would always kind of put that in there too, that it's, you know, largely staffed by a volunteer force in addition to the folks that are employed directly. So those are just some things I remember from last year.
And in the manual, there's, you know, good examples of how to introduce yourself. Like just asking, hi, are you here for Dining Out for Life? And they're going to say either yes or what are you talking about? If they say, what are you talking about? You need to, at that point, explain what is Dining Out for Life? Are you familiar with Movable Feast? No. Well, let me tell you about it. And again, there's a bunch of material in here that I really encourage all the new folks to just kind of read all 5 pages of this pretty thoroughly, and I think that'll get you well on your way to
and your story counts. Everyone
Yeah.
here, and when they introduced yourself and how you were connected, volunteering, like committee, you know, the ride, just hearing why you're connected and why this is important to you goes a very long way with everyone. Just
Yeah.
hearing what's your
great.
connection.
That's
And then that
great.
just comes off of you. That just, you know, falls off versus this and all those other stats. Just hearing your connection, that goes a very long way.
Skip something. Yes. Yeah, handling patient interactions. The whole section on the last 2 pages of the manual just kind of addresses a lot of things that may come up. Funny one that one of the ambassadors last year told me that one of the diners they talked to thought maybe we were a like a pro-life organization. We're dining out for life. You have to explain, no, that's not what this is about at all. Um, anyone have any other like, kind of weird things that have come up when you've been an ambassador? How did you handle it?
No, but I think it's important to say, just to remind everybody, that we're all here representing Movable Feast, and think of that as you're interacting with people. We've never had a problem to the best of my knowledge, but it's just something to consider, how you present yourself and what you say to folks. Just know that you're not speaking for yourself, you're speaking for Movable Feast.
Anyone else?
And I want to add, read that, they said read the room, read what's happening at the table. Stephanie talked about approaching after you see they put their meals in and they put their order in. But as you're approaching, or you have your eyes around the room, and you might see maybe certain tables where maybe not, maybe that table. Let them just look at the card themselves, because maybe they had too much to drink tonight, and that's not engage. So you just you trust your gut judgment as you're engaging and having conversations, and no one went to step back. Like what Brian said, you're representing Movable Feast. We don't want any incidents occurring, but you just trust yourself in regards to how things are occurring. If there's any issues between the food and the waiter and them getting their meal and people are angry, just any of that, you feel that, and you could be like, all right, I'll just wait with that group, talk to them when they're leaving instead of talking to them now. But everything has been very positive over the years.
Keisha, you said something that triggered a thought for me, which was like with the staff at the restaurant. I think it's also important, like obviously we're there in their space and they're so gracious to partner with us. So I think we want to give them kudos where we can and help them understand why we're there too, because they can kind of tag team with us and, tee us up, we're having this thing tonight. Somebody's going to be by to talk with you. So I think that's important too. And just making sure that that is a good partnership with the restaurant so that we get to go back next year too. But I think it's helpful because then they know what's going on. So last year, I think I arrived like right as they were opening for dinner service. So I actually got to just say hi to all the servers. They were having like their pre-shift huddle or whatever, and just say what it was all about. So that was really helpful. I know that that's probably not always the case for every restaurant, but just honoring the restaurant and that they're partnering with us and making sure they know what's up to is helpful.
We have social media resources for you to use, and ideally how that would work is you're assigned your restaurant, you go online, invite all your friends, say, hey, I'm going to be here, please come support Movable Feast and the great work they do. We have things, so that link at the bottom there goes straight to a Google Drive folder. So we have things that are pre-sized for Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, so I'll include that in an email tomorrow to everyone. So you have that. But yeah, that's kind of a big part of it. Like if you're going to be there all night, get some of your friends to come, your family, coworkers, have them come watch you.
Have a big table coming with your friends and stuff, and let the owners know or the managers know that, hey, you got a bunch of business tonight, got some Movable Feast. I brought all my friends. And you'll feel less nervous especially if you're a first timer, you'll feel less nervous if a bunch of your friends are one of the tables there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're up to 22 people at our table.
Yeah, no, Manny has filled up the helmet, I think, for Thursday night, which is great. All righty. This is more than just day of event logistics, just kind of generally. So as I mentioned before, every restaurant will have a box, and it's going to have those envelopes and the postcards and some other items. Um, if you are able, it would be great for you to come pick that up at the Movable Feast office and take it with you to the restaurant when you go. I am going to, those boxes aren't really together yet. I'm working on getting all that together. Um, by the time I email you guys tomorrow, I think I'll have a better sense of when those will be ready. But right now, I'm kind of looking at like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week of Dining Out for Life week. Again, we can coordinate this kind of directly, individually. I think you all have my email now. Just kind of put a pin in that for next week. If you can pick those up, that would be helpful. And then at the end of the night, you may have cash and checks. We ask that you don't take cash and checks home if possible. We're going to rendezvous at our house. So around 8 p.m., I'm just going to go to our house and stay there. The Our House bar is one of our participating restaurants. I like our house just because I think parking is there pretty easy, and it's an easy place just to kind of hang out and not feel like you're in the way. Um, so an option would be to just come there and drop it off. If you're kind of out, you can text me while you're out. We can try to connect and hand that stuff off. Worst case scenario, we get it Friday, following day. But just try to get that back as quickly as possible, especially if you have cash and check donations. It's not quite as critical if you don't have those things. But kind of the top 5 hit points for being an ambassador is promote. Promote the fact that you're doing it, promote where you're going to be, promote the event generally. And yeah, social media is probably the easiest way to do that. But yeah, tell people too at work and wherever you go. Obviously, you're going to visit the restaurant. We kind of talked about when you get there, just try to get to know the staff. Obviously, the hostess would be a good one to get to know, but the wait staff too. If the manager's there, say hello and thank them. Another thing all the boxes will have is an invoice for the restaurant. When you try to get that to the manager at night of the event, if possible. I know it can be a little hectic sometimes and you can't connect with the manager, but if possible, try to get that to them. Obviously have fun. If you're having fun, I think it's going to be a lot easier for folks to relate to you and want to talk to you. Like Keisha was saying, speak from the heart. Others have kind of echoed that too. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you volunteering for Movable Feast? They may kind of feel your connection to it and feed off that. And of course, dropping off the donations Thursday night if you're able is greatly appreciated.
So how long are you going to be at our house? You said you'd probably get there at like 8.
Yeah, I'm going to be driving around hitting different restaurants.
Okay.
Some that there will be some we don't have ambassadors for. I'll probably hit those, and I'll probably stop in on try to focus on the new folks and visit y'all at your restaurants. But I'll be there, gosh, probably like 8 to 10, I would think.
Okay.
I don't know, I feel like I've skipped over a lot of stuff that's in the manual. But my phone number's up here top and center. And I kind of ask that, when you get to your restaurant, text me. When you're leaving your restaurant, text me. If it's, 9:45, don't just head over to our house. Please text first. I may say, hey, you know what? Why don't we connect in the morning if we can? It's been a long day. But yeah, just communication is the key there. I'll, be waiting for everyone's calls or texts that night. Yeah. We are kind of into we're into the question phase. So let's get all the questions going. Was that Trisha?
It is. I'm queen of the questions.
Yeah.
For those who have done it before, when's a good time to get there and when's a good time to leave? And what's a good time frame to be present?
I can answer a little bit about that because the hours will vary by restaurant. And obviously, your schedules plays a part too. But for dinner, if you can, I guess I'll turn it over to the committee. What do you guys think?
At least 5 to 9, I would say. If it starts thinning out and they're closing at 10 or something like that, and they're not seating much anymore, you know that your time is done. I try to get there between 4 and 5 o'clock if they open at 5, so I can introduce myself real quick to the staff and answer any questions they might have, and most of all, make them and who's ever in charge, management or whatever, comfortable with the fact that I understand that they have a business to run, and I'm not going to be stepping on anybody's toes, and I'm going to just be a little extra icing on the cake in the evening. That's the big thing for me. Because having them on your side and positive behind you is very helpful.
Yeah. So Trisha, you and I haven't really talked about where you're going to go. Some of the other new folks in here, I sent out some emails today to kind of, suggest some places. For places that are open till 2 a.m., don't stay there till 2 a.m., please.
No.
I'm thinking the event really kind of ends like 10 at the latest. Yeah, some of the places, are close at 9. Artifact closes at 3 p.m., so that's more of a lunch, breakfast type place.
Unless people get more generous after 11 p.m. Okay.
That may be true, actually. Maybe it could be an angle we haven't explored. Yeah, if you
Man,
want.
gonna be closing the place down.
Yeah, I think only a handful stay open really, really late, but and that's kind of up to you. I'm not going to tell you not to stay that late if you don't really want to, because Mandy may be right. People may get kind of loose with their money at near closing time and could miss a big donation that way. But
Yeah, Brian, that between that 5 to 9 p.m. It all depends, of course, when get off for you to get there. As Stephanie said, what worked for her, getting there a little early so she could connect with some of the and set up and connect with the people. So that's good. But if your schedule, if traffic, if it doesn't permit, it's okay. You'll build a connection throughout. But definitely, if you start seeing things winding down, I'm thinking about 9 p.m., especially if you have cash or anything that you need to then get over to Kevin, you want to get that. And if you just see the crowd shifting or winding down, we have things there that they could continue what they need to. But I think that 4 to 9 p.m., 5 to 9 p.m. kind of is a good time to have our presence there. Depending on when you're placed, the hours of your restaurant. We want you comfortable. So if at a certain point, like I gotta get back, I'm getting tired, get back home. It's okay. We get it. But good connection with the staff and the manager at the beginning helps us start it off well, if you could get there for that.
what other questions do we have? Amanda, how do you feel about all of this?
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Looking forward to reviewing the materials too.
Awesome.
Does everyone know where they're going to be? Does everyone, I mean,
I've not assigned everyone yet. Rebecca, you're going to Mickey's joint, right? That's
right. That's,
yeah.
I mean, I came at it like sideways. So I was like, do the people who are new know where they're going? And if any of us could have for any,
That's right.
am I going to be by myself? Do you know that yet or not?
Rebecca, it is difficult to recruit ambassadors.
Okay.
Right now, I do
Because
not
I was about to
have.
say, I'm
Yeah.
fine being there.
Yeah.
I eat there every Monday
Yeah.
night. I know the staff. I'm
Awesome.
fine. Like, so don't waste a person on me.
That's great. Let's see. Amanda, I had emailed you to ask if you thought Cafe Gia would be all right.
Yep, I just got back to you.
Awesome. Let's see.
Breweries Art or Cafe Gia. I'm fine with either, but I think I'd
Please forgive me. Ruya, say your name again.
It's right.
Right. I suggested for you, dear Charles, that you had asked, I think, for Charles Village kind of area. Um,
Yeah, that's fine. I live in Hamden, so it's pretty close. Yeah.
okay. Good deal. Who else we have here? Trisha, we'll figure out where to put you. Yeah, Stephanie, you're going to pick Pink Flamingo, right?
Flamingo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new bar. They're new.
I was just there last week. It's a cool place. It's a
Yeah.
rock bar with a pretty good menu, I thought. Yeah. It's a cool vibe.
There's, anyone else have any questions about placement? I think Brian, you're going to the food market.
Yep.
All right.
That's a big one.
Yeah, they're one of our top contributors, actually, probably top 5. And they added La Food Marqueta this year, so we're getting
They're
kind of
doing that one
2
too.
for 1, yeah.
Good.
In fact, I don't have an ambassador for that yet.
That'd be a good one.
Actually, Trisha, I was thinking about asking you if you want to do La Food Marqueta. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What do you think? Are you familiar with that at all?
I have not been to that one, but I'll go anywhere. I'm comfortable.
I've actually not been there myself either. The people at the food market kind of signed up both for us.
It's a really nice place. I've been there too.
Yeah.
I went there on Sunday to drop off the poster and the cards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, exact placement details I'll kind of work out with you guys individually over the next few days. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions?
I have another question. I was trying to comprehend for the donor raffles. Can you explain that a little bit more? Are there 2 different raffles?
Well, so for the donors, there are essentially 5 winners. The 3 people will be chosen to receive a gift card bundle. Restaurants, pretty much most of the restaurants that signed up gave a gift card of varying amounts. So the way I handled it last year, it seemed to work pretty well. I pulled the winners from kind of random list of donors. That includes online. If they mail if they mail something in by the 11th, so that's only 2 days after the event, they'll still be included in the raffle. Any online donations. But they'll win one of 3 $200 bundles of gift cards. And I just sent the 3 winners a list saying, here's what we have, and dollar amounts. And they let me know what they want. It was kind of first come, first serve. So that's kind of the grand prize called the Taste of Maryland. And then Eggy North is producing 4 Movable Feast logo pendants. That's kind of the second place prize. So 2 donors will get that. For the ambassadors, there's going to be 2 $100 gift card bundles and then 2 of the pendants as well. And I'll just pull that from random list of all the volunteer ambassadors. So yeah, the exact details of the raffle, I'm going to pull the winner on the 24th. So that gives them like 2 weeks to get any online donations in. Yeah, is that...
Okay, yeah. So it's like gift card bundle and then the pendants.
Yeah.
So one way we can discourage people from giving us cash is by saying you'll be entered in the raffle if you donate online.
Yeah. Well, they can still, if they give cash, they'll still be included. Assuming they, fill out, because the envelope has a place to put all their contact info. If they're going to mail it, they need to mail it by the 11th, which would be Saturday. It needs to be postmarked by the 11th. But yeah, honestly, if they could donate online, it'd be easier on our end. But we'll take any kind of money people want to give us.
See somebody on a date, that's perfect to give them the envelope because it's almost like I was actually on a solo sopra on a date, and somebody approaches the both, and I said like, well, I'm gonna donate. And I looked at the date going like, how about you?
That's hilarious.
What other questions do we have?
I don't have a question. I was just wanted to comment something, Kevin. I dropped off the poster and things at Verde, but they did not have the gift card,
Yeah.
and the master wasn't there.
Okay, that's fine.
With
So
the donating online, is there like on the postcards that we're giving them, is there like a QSR that they can click right in, like and hand it to them, be like, oh, you could donate right now, just scan and go?
Yep. So on the back of the postcard, there's two different QR codes, which could be a little confusing. One, I think one goes to like our annual report or the website to learn more about movable fees, and this one down here goes straight to the donate link.
Okay.
So all they would need to do was go there, enter some brief information, choose their donation amount, and bang. Shouldn't take them more than about a minute to do
Yeah,
that.
something you could do is circle the one for the donation and just leave it on the table. Just leave it on the table. So after you're,
With a
and
little
if you
heart,
decide
maybe.
you'd like to contribute more, we are very open to that. Whether it's $5 or $5,000, whatever you want to do. Here's the QR code. You do a little circle around it. I'm going to leave this with you. And if you decide to do it, you're entered in to win some prizes.
And if anyone gets a $5,000 donation, I will take you out to lunch.
I'll get James to write a check.
Take the donor out to lunch, not the ambassador.
Automatic
It was your charm that won them over.
If you don't ask for it, you don't get it. So
there's always no.
Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much. Thank you for the veterans that have come to help the new ones get acclimated, and thank you for the brave new folks that have chosen this ambassador journey.
Thanks so much for doing this, folks. Yeah, thank you so much. It really helps.
Yep. Y'all have a great night. I will
Thanks, everyone.
look for my emails in the next few days. What's that?
Do we have enough ambassadors?
We're kind of short a little bit, but not too bad. That right now we're really only looking at maybe 3 or 4 places that don't get them, and a couple of those really don't, quite frankly.
Okay. We need
if you know someone that wants to do it, send them my way, but we're not too bad. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Everyone have a great night.
Have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.